Now it's time for some fun, some inspiration. Won't you stop and do you want? Make it All right, everybody, welcome in. You are officially welcome. Had that theme song playing. And so you all are officially welcome to the Loretta McNary Show. And yes, we are doing it again with one of my favorite guests. Not only does she help you all, but she certainly is a blessing to me as well. And she really needs no introduction. I'm just going to do a little something because she deserves that. But Dr. Gloria Morrow is a clinical psychologist who serves as the director of behavioral health for Unicare Community Health Center. Dr. Gloria is affectionately called as she is affectionately called Dr. Gloria. You know, to her sister like me, I still call her Dr. Gloria too. But she manages the behavioral health department. She has done that for 13 clinics. She also maintains a small clinical practice that focuses on pastoral leaders, their families, and those like me in the entertainment industry. We need all the help we can get. Dr. Gloria has also been afforded many wonderful opportunities in her lifetime. Her career began as a faculty member in psychology department at the University of La Verne. How you say that?
Laverne. Yeah.
Laverne. And she has all these initials behind her name, right? A ton of them. They weigh more than her name. But she agreed to this because we wanted to offer some help, some encouragement, some tips, some tricks, some stress releasers, and people, you cannot get rid of your stress. It's going to be something, but we can manage them, right, Dr. Gloria?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me on, Loretta. You are just fabulous, and I love that theme song. I really enjoyed that. Get us moving on Friday.
Yes, hanging with Loretta,
and
man.
People need that. They need to be lifted up right now. Everybody is going through something with COVID-19, with, all of the pandemics. We've got the economic pandemic, we've got the political pandemic, and we've also got our own racial pandemic that we're dealing with.
Yeah, the social unrest. Yes.
Yeah, and then don't forget about the fact that you and I have our own personal pandemics.
Don't forget about that. I don't wake up like this, and this is not all I have to do every day, although I love it. Yeah.
That's it. So we got a lot going on.
We have a lot going on in 2020. I say it's been a year of new challenges, new obstacles, but it has been a year in itself like any other. We always have, but this has been a international challenge for everybody in the world, basically. So it feels heavier. But I think once you have something tugging on your spirit and your mind and your heart, it's immeasurable. So you can't say this is heavier or doing this is heavier or somebody breaking your heart is heavier. When your heart and soul is heavy, it's heavy.
Yeah. And the thing about it is we're going through it individually and collectively. And I think that's the difference. Sometimes when we're going through something, it seems like it's just us going through it individually. But now we are going through it collectively. So we are all kind of in the same boat. Now, there are people who are doing better financially than others, of course. There are people who are not sick, of course. But if you care about people, you care about those who are suffering right now. Because, if it wasn't for the grace of God, there go I. It would be very close to me being homeless or being without food or shelter, if the situation was turned slightly. So we just have to remember that and use this as a time to really take care of one another during this time.
I agree with that so much. Hey, Minister Rakisha Gray, a newfound, reconnected with Rakisha Gray. She's a 20-something year old minister on fire, was inspired by our show last week, and she is not going to sit on her goals, even though she knows she's up against some challenges, some obstacles. Other people are, but our gift is so much bigger than our heaviness.
Yeah.
Our gift is heavier than heaviness. Ooh, that's a tweetable moment.
Yes.
How do you feel about that? Because I know because I want to talk about staying present. If you let all of this get to you, Dr. Gloria, what are we giving up for to be in this moment and to stress and to worry? What are we giving up? Can you help them with that?
Yeah, we're giving up our peace because the goal is to have peace no matter what's going on. So if you
Mm,
focus on the past, you're going to be depressed. If you
yes.
focus on the future as to what is going to happen, how we're going to get out of this, what's going to take place next, you're going to be more anxious. But if you stay
Mm.
right in the present moment and you think about where you are right now, if you're still able to breathe, you're still able to, do as much as you can to take care of yourself. Hey, that's something to celebrate. And we have to start learning to celebrate the small things. Sometimes we're looking for that big thing to make us happy or make us satisfied. But right now, if you have your health, you ought to be happy. If you have a roof over your head and some food or the job that you need to pay those bills, you should be happy. And even if you don't, you need to know that God's going to make a way and be blessed and also be in a place of peace, because it doesn't matter what circumstances people are in if they don't believe that they're going to get out of it. So we've got to all know we're going to get on the other side of this.
Oh, definitely. And I think that will really help people that are watching or know somebody who's struggling. And whether it's your relationship, maybe you're saying, you know what, this year 2020 has really been hard on my relationship, or COVID-19 or whatever. Those are just symptoms of something that was already going on. So don't throw your relationship totally away. I think we need to work on, like you said before, we got to work on ourselves first.
Yeah.
And then these relationships, I think that is like the totality. We wrap everything up if we got a relationship. And then when
Hmm.
everything goes wrong, we blame the relationship. Can you help people with that one too?
Yeah, you know what? Do your own work.
Mm,
When you are not having the best success in a relationship or whatever, you do have to look at yourself and to determine what you can do differently. But I'm going to just say this to every man and woman that's watching us or will watch us. Don't wrap up all of your hope in another person, because we're
mm.
all just human beings and we're all prone to make mistakes and to fail. So don't wrap all your hope up in another individual. Do what you know how to do, but most of all, rely on God, because that's the only constant and consistent one in my life is Him. And I just want people to know that, you can do all things through Him who strengthens you. So don't worry about what's happening right now. It's going to be okay. And see, we need to start learning how to create a new normal anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think this has been a perfect opportunity for creating a new normal, finding a new way to do things, finding new pleasures by having to reduce going out and hanging out. What else can you do? There are some things that you can do, and it's a time for creativity. It's a time to spend more time with the people in your bubble. And if you don't have people in your bubble, then it's time to start developing that. You may have to do it virtually, but start developing that bubble, because when this thing is over, you're going to want to be with people that you've been able to connect with during this time. So we can do it. Don't make such a big deal out of everything and let everything stress you out. It won't do you any good anyway. You're just going to be stressed out and anxious. But
Yeah, and
know
that
that you're
time
going
is
to be
it's going to
okay.
be 3 months, and you're still going to be stressed out.
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
somebody say, and I read this from somewhere, but I have used it myself. I'm concerned with everything that's going on, but I have not allowed it to consume me.
Yes,
Meaning, I
yes.
see it. I'm not here with rose-colored glasses or anything by any stretch of the imagination. My heart was torn when George Floyd was murdered, and everybody saw that. My heart is torn when we see all these people dying from COVID. I've had friends die from COVID-19. I've had their families financially ripped apart because of it. And I am very concerned by that. I am
Yeah.
trying to help as many people as I can. I'm praying, I'm saying prayerful, and it doesn't do any good to come down to that pit
Mm-mm.
with them. When you go to somebody, what I found works for me, Dr. Gloria, and you're the expert here, we need to stay above. Like when we're parenting, we cannot afford to become the child when we're disciplining our other child, our children.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Mm-hmm.
to always say the parent in front of them and go break down or remember when you are alone. But the best thing we can do for each other is to stay in a place of peace and integrity and helpfulness and meekness.
Yeah, you've got to realize that being anxious is not going to help anything. So, the more anxious you are, the more depressed you are, you're going to impact your immune system. And by the way, COVID-19 likes to attack your immune system. So, make sure that you're not. Falling victim of just becoming totally unglued when there's nothing you can do about it. So, I'm going to tell people some things that they need to be doing right now, if that's okay, Miss Loretta, because I think that would be valuable for our time with our viewers today.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, you've got to acknowledge how you're feeling. Don't sit around and suffer in silence. If you're stressed, if you're feeling anxious and depressed, you need to talk to somebody. Don't suffer in silence. And then talk to somebody that can do something. Sometimes we're talking to the wrong folks. We're talking to people who are worse than us. And
Yes.
so when we finish talking to them, we need to have them lay on our couch because they're in worse shape than you. So make sure you're talking to healthy people about how you're feeling, but talk about it. Don't just sit up and let yourself get overwhelmed by how you're feeling. And then, secondly, you've got to celebrate the fact that every day is a great day, no matter what. And write down those things that you're grateful for. There are so many things that we have to be grateful for. So make your gratitude list. Make sure that you're thinking about those things that don't have to be, but they are, and you are grateful for them. So the people in your life, the situations, the the resources you do have, all of those things, be grateful. Then use this as a time for creativity. This is a time because you can't run like you used to. I know I will be running every weekend back and forth to LA doing something. I can't do that now. So what am I doing? I'm creating. I've created my show. I've created an ebook. I have been working, creating because I have more time to devote to creating and developing a new normal. And the holiday season is right here. And so some of us are saying, well, what are we going to do? We can't go where we used to go. And what about gifts and stuff? We cannot buy gifts. You know what? This ought to be a good lesson to everybody. You know what? We have been blessed with the gift. The gift is Christ Himself. And so if you don't spend a dime on anybody, you've already received the gift and they need to get that gift. And don't worry about shopping
Yes.
if you don't have money. And in fact, if you do have money, you ought to take that money, like my family is going to do, and we're going to share with somebody who doesn't have food or doesn't have what they need for their daily sustenance. And if you start giving and helping others, it'll take your mind off of some of that stuff that you're thinking. And so it's really important for us to see what God is doing in this time. He wants to get our attention, and He's got my attention. I don't know about you, but
Oh,
I
he
have
definitely
been
has mine.
paying attention to Him
I
because I'm
know.
telling you, nothing else matters right now. We've got to get close to Him, and we've got to do what He wants us to do, and we've got to be here for one another. We are to serve one another, and we should find a way to do that. And when you serve others, that's the thing that makes you truly happy. You will feel fulfilled no matter how little you have. If you help someone else and share what you have with someone else, you're going to feel better.
That is so true. And like I was saying about when you're going over to see someone and they're going through, it's important. Well, this is what people like do. You call and you tell them you got a problem or you're not feeling good. Then this is what they do. Oh, me too, girl. My hip is out and my throat is sore. But I called you so you can help me feel better. But so people are so needy. And I understand that. But also remember, you're not the only one with issues. But we like to judge people by where they live, how much money they have, what kind of job they have, and then assume that they're not going through anything. Well, honey,
Mm-hmm.
money and status and nice, luxurious things does not mean you're not going through some challenges. So your
That's
challenge
right.
may be different, um, with a different name, but it's still nonetheless a challenge. And that always means you're stressing, you're worried, and you
Mm-hmm.
need somebody to say, hey, it's going to be okay. So instead of me waiting for somebody to say, hey, it's going to be okay, I want to be the person that says, hey, it's going to be okay to
Right.
everybody I meet,
That's
everybody.
right.
Because we
Yeah.
all have something. We also, on the flip side, because I know God works in balance, there is something that we have to give to somebody else to help them along the way. What do you think about
Yes.
that, Dr. Gloria?
Absolutely. All of us has something. Sometimes it's just a smile. Sometimes it's just picking up the phone and calling somebody. Over Thanksgiving, my family got together and we couldn't be together. So we did a Zoom dessert time together where we all got on Zoom and everybody, brought what they wanted to bring to that. And we had a great time. We'll do the same thing around Christmas too. We can't get together. We're all over the place. And I'll
Hmm.
tell you a secret. Sometimes you'll get more people together than you would have if they were
That is
coming
true.
personally. So get the family together. We're going to get in our car and drive through the places where they have the beautiful lights
Yeah.
so that the grandkids can see the lights. There are things you can do to make yourself feel peaceful and feel at rest during this season. Here's what I found out. At first when this thing happened, I was just really kind of taken aback. What in the world? And I was initially, furloughed off my job, and so I'm the one who said, "Thank you, God. I needed that time. Thank you." And so, but I got in my car and I went driving, and I looked around. Everything was the same. The
Hmm.
buildings were still there. The sky was still there. The mountain was still there. The cars were still there. And it just reminded me that, everything hasn't changed, but everything must change. And if we understand that, we will start embracing change and say, you know what, Lord, what are you trying to show me in this season? What is it you want me to get so that I can be better when I get on the other side of this? And I'm telling you, the people who have embraced that, they have done some incredible things because they realize that once we make up our minds that God has us and this is going to be a blessing, even though
Yeah.
there is death and devastation and everything is happening. But I'm telling you, it's going to work out for our good.
Okay. So what you said is absolutely amazing. And I definitely agree with that. But I want to talk to the people probably more like you and me. And I see one of my sisters, one of my BFFs, who is also my sister, Tawanda Williams, is also on. TL Pratchett, she's an awesome author. She's actually going to be my guest next Friday. Thanks for support. That's what I love, guests who support the show, who just don't want to come on to sell books. I love her. Her and her husband have been tremendous supporters since the first interview. So I want to talk about people who everybody says, Loretta, you're strong. You have so much faith. I wish I was more like you. So we're silent about what we're going through. Is that a good thing or injustice when we wear the mask or the veil that,
Oh,
oh,
no.
I'm fine?
No, pull that mask off because you're not fine.
But what
Okay.
about the trust? What's a strong place? Somebody like you, is that the strongest place for
Well,
us?
if you don't have people around you that you can trust, that you can go to talk to during this time, there are many different avenues to be able to talk to a trained professional. The key is getting it out. You've got to share your truth because you may not want to say that you're struggling, but you are, and we know it because you're short tempered. You're crying all the time, you're feeling worried, you're going through all that. So you may as well stop hiding that because you're not going to help yourself. And like I said earlier, remember, COVID-19 attacks your immune system. And if you are harboring stress and anxiety and pain, don't you know that you're going to be more at risk, more
Ooh,
susceptible to, having the lethal effects of COVID-19?
ooh, oh my
And,
goodness.
and what worries me about this is if you look at African Americans, we're the number one person that gets the worst part of this. So think about the stress that we can be under, all of the different things we go through, the racism, the sexism, all the stuff that we go through, and then our own economic situation. So when you think of that, we've got to make sure that we are talking about our stuff and getting it out there. Talk to someone that can help you. I can't take another client, but I'm telling you, they have plenty sites like Psychology Today. You can go to BetterHelp. which is on Facebook, discobetterhelp.com. They've got all kinds of different sites where you can get help and you can interview people and see who you want to talk to.
Yeah, who are
That's
you
very
most
important.
comfortable?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
interview them. Make sure they understand who you are with regards to your culture, your faith, all of those things, so that you can talk to someone and be able to maneuver during this really different season. I don't call it a difficult season. I call it a different season
That's what it
because
is.
some great things are still happening in the midst of all this chaos we're in.
I agree. And like I said earlier, God works in balance. So
Yes.
we have a tendency to just concentrate on one thing. But at the same time, through this pandemic, of course, a lot of people, more people at one time than I've ever heard of in my lifetime are ill and not feeling well, and families are affected. But also on the flip side of that, because again, God works in balance. He's not going to let this be heavier than this without blessing somewhere. And he is
Right.
still a miracle worker, a promise keeper, a light in the
He
dark. He's all
is.
of that. And
Yes.
so I've discovered new talents. You mentioned that you discovered some creativity. I know a ton of other people who've discovered creativity. So you cannot stop living, waiting for this thing to leave us, because
Yes.
we may never get back to the way it was, and that would be fine. Because
Yes.
I just believe we don't know what's inside of us or what we can
Yeah.
do until struggle and challenge comes, until something
Yes.
traumatic happens, like adrenaline, like you've got to pick a car up. That is doable. So I think in this pandemic, we need to really look inside of us and see what else. There must be something still in me because I'm still here. Can you speak on
Right.
that some more?
Well, I want our viewers to know this one thing. We are resilient. We have come through some pandemics and some stress and some stuff. We have come through some things in our lives, and we are resilient. And I want you to remember that. You can't be a victim now. You've got to be a person that says, I'm an overcomer. So no matter what I'm going through, I want to make sure that you know that you are an overcomer. So you have to start telling yourself that, it's not enough for me to say it. I believe it about me, but you got to believe it about you, because if you do that, you'll know, hey, this thing is tough. I don't like it. I don't like being shut down. I don't like being at home. I just looked at my passport. I said, oh my gosh, I'm supposed to be on a trip in December. Oh my God, I'm supposed to be somewhere on an island somewhere right now. And I can't do it. I can't let that bum me out. I have to create my own island in my mind and in my thinking
That
and
is
get
so
busy
true.
doing what I do. So when this thing is over, I can go to 2 or 3 islands
There you
because
go.
I've been working my craft so
Mm-hmm.
that when I get on the other side of this, I'm prepared. So use
Right.
this as a time to prepare yourself for what's greater, because there's something greater coming.
Yeah. We're in tough times, but I trust you, everybody watching and everybody that will watch this show. This is tough times. I assure you it is. But guess what? You are tougher.
Yes,
You are tougher, and you have
absolutely.
everything you need to get through this and to shine. This is not meant to stop you, to slow you down, just to readjust like our GPS does when we make the wrong turn. It doesn't say stop, pull over, and go back the other way. It tells you recalculating, readjusting. So with this season we're in, it's saying to you, recalculate, readjust, rethink, re-strategize, not give up. It
Yes,
never, God is so clear and so perfect. If he wanted you to quit, he would just tell you. He's not
absolutely.
the God of confusion.
Yeah,
So
he
he's
wants you to
saying,
quit.
yeah, he would tell you to quit, right? But you're still here, still a lot of stuff in you.
Yes.
Dr. Morrow, I know you have to go. We're going to end this show so we can put this on TV. So we got to stay within our time restraints.
Okay.
But I knew this show was going to be amazing. And I'm so thankful that people tune in, even with me waiting to the last minute to tell them out there on social media.
Well,
But social
thank you for
media is
having
powerful.
me.
What can you
Yes.
say to people who are dreading Christmas, the holidays, in
Yeah,
addition to COVID-19 and what 2021 might look like?
I think we've been saying it. Live for the moment. You may not have everything you want to have. You may not be with who you want to be with. But the thing is, we have already received the gift. So start creating a new normal, create new ways to celebrate uh, Christ's birth, And remember that, the season is not about gift giving. It's not about spending money. It's about giving. And so there may be people who need food and shelter. Spend your money helping them because they are going to need that. And I just want to say to you, I have a show that comes on every Saturday at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time and Thursday at 11 a.m. Did I say 11 p.m.? No, it's 11 a.m.
Hey,
and 11 a.m. on Thursday Pacific Standard Time called A Brand New Me. So like my page, A Brand New Me, and come on, and we're going to be telling you how to manage the holiday blues. Because on Thursday of next week, we have some comedians that are going to be coming in the house and to help us to learn how to laugh and to relax during this season.
Awesome. Yes, please. She's easy to find. Dr. Gloria Morrow. She has a website. She has some books. She has a play. She and I connected a few months ago, and she promised that first show she would do 3. This is the 3rd one, but I know she's going to come back again. But I'm just hoping that people were inspired, and just get it in your mind that God is greater than anything that you may be going
Yes.
through, anything that's going to happen in 2021. God is not going to be caught by surprise. And
No.
He has an answer and a solution to every problem and every concern. So make sure that you're living your life. You're staying in the promise, staying in the present. You're pivoting where you need to pivot, and you're making things happen. Because guess what? Time goes on. It doesn't wait.
Yes.
It doesn't wait. Oh, I don't know if you've been able to see some of the comments I've been putting up that we've gotten a tremendous amount. There are a lot of people watching and supporting, and hearts and thumbs ups are out there, Dr. Morrow. So thank you so much. And we put this show together really fast, but you're so amazing. You don't need much time. And I guess you must like coming on. You said yes again.
Thank you. It's my honor to come on. And Merry Christmas to you, and Happy Kwanzaa and Happy Hanukkah to all those that are watching, and for those who don't have a religious faith.
Oh, I know, right? So
Yes.
I'll end with our song again. Dr. Morrow, thank you so much for taking the time to share with us and to inspire us and aspire us to do better and be better and to help somebody like my mission is along the way. So thank you. We'll see you soon. All right.
Thank you. Bye.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to Loretta McNary Live. As always, it's a pleasure and a privilege. And think positive, dream big dreams, help someone along the way, and we'll see you very soon. Good night, everybody. Your troubles away.